Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Julia here from VintageChameleon, and I am in my greenhouse today. And I'm going to show you just some new growth on some plants, some new plants that I've recently gotten in, and maybe some problematic plants. So let's get started. The first plant I have is my Orchid Cactus that I got from a cutting. This was in my favorites video from I think about a year ago. And this entire leaf, I guess you'd say, completely sprouted out this summer from this guy. And he has all of these tiny little baby leaves coming. They're not leaves, but they just look like leaves. And he's growing insane. I think I'm gonna have to repot him soon because he's been in this pot for a long time. But yeah, this summer he seriously took off. Secondly, I have my prickly pear that was also my favorites video. And if you guys remember, let me get him. He only had these pads. These three grew within like a month. So he is growing insane too. This guy I picked off of a huge prickly pear when I was in Florida visiting my sister. So he really took off. I really want him to flower. Maybe he'll flower next summer. Stay. Next, a plant that grew insane this year is my Vicks plants. I'll insert a picture here of what it looked like in the beginning of the summer when I thought it was growing insane, but now when I look at it, he has all of this new growth. And it's called a Vicks plant because if you squeeze the leaf and smell it, it's Vicks Vapor Rub. Like, you know when you have a cold and you put the salve on your chest? That is where this comes from. So you can make your own salve from this plant. And it's so fragrant and it's super easy to grow. And I grew this from a tiny little cutting. My next plant or plants that were in my favorites video are my pregnant onions. There's one here. I don't know where the other one is. I just saw him. Oh, there he is. So these guys were in one small pot, but I broke them up into two separate pots because they were kind of just like crowding each other. Here they are. And as you can see, they have a ton of little babies growing off of them. Hence why they're called a pregnant onion. They are in no way related to an onion. You cannot eat these. They're pretty sure they're toxic. This guy, I chopped off all of his leaves because some of them were turning brown because I forgot to water him for a little while. But he'll grow just fine. And then this guy, it's got, yeah, see, like this one's browning. Maybe I'll just pick it off. Yeah, these guys are pretty hardy. When they aren't watered, this entire little bulb will get super shrivelly and like pruny-like, so that's when I know I need to water it. Next, I have one of my favorite plants, even though he doesn't look the best because I got him from a cutting in the mail, but this is a Rhaphrodaphyra tetrasperma, and as you can see, he kind of looks like a Monstera Delicioso or a split-leaf philodendron, but he's not. He is a tetrasperma, and they're kind of hard to find. I got this cutting for $20 from an Etsy seller, and I love it, and I just can't wait for him to put on new growth. He had this one new leaf, but I think that in transit it got a little smushed, but he'll be just fine. And then next, speaking of Monstera Deliciosa, I have two plants here that I also received from cutting. This one, he has these new leaves on them, and they don't get the splits in them until they get a little bit bigger, so he's still kind of a baby plant. But I have to show you because look at this insane air root that's coming out. Look at this thing. It's so thick. And the other day he was like an inch above the soil, so he's really growing. So he'll be rooted right into the soil in no time. And he's got some new baby leaves coming out of here. This one's dying off, but that's fine because he's growing well. I also have this Monstera Delicioso that was also from a cutting. This is a brand new leaf. As you can see, it's so shiny and green. I have this baby leaf coming in. It's so cute, and then some more leaves coming in there, so he's growing really well too. These all pretty much took off once I put them in my greenhouse. One of my next plants that kind of struggled for a little bit this summer is my avocado tree. Some type of pest got to it. I thought I saw one on there. No, some type of pest got to it and started nibbling all the leaves. Is there mud on my face? I swear I can see mud on my face. But yeah, anyways, he had this pest, and I don't really know what it was, if it was a slug or a mealy or what, but he's coming back. And I also need to repot him because some of his roots are coming out at the bottom. But I grew him from an avocado pit, and this is probably about a year of growth. So they grow really slow, so don't be discouraged if you start to grow a pit and it doesn't root for a long time, because they will grow, it just takes a really long time. Now another plant that looks just like my avocado tree is my Sapote. And if you're from like a tropical country or Florida or somewhere where fruit grows on trees, then you might have had a Sapote. But I got a Sapote, the fruit. I'll insert a picture here. And when I got it, the pit in the inside was rooted. So I'm like, oh, I have to plant this. And look at how beautiful this little tree is. It is growing so nice. I don't know if I'm supposed to cut it. A lot of the times, like for the avocado, you cut the branch so that it sprouts off new growth and the stem gets thicker, but I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do that with this, and I'm kind of too scared to, but maybe I will. I don't know. I don't really like decapitating things. And speaking of decapitating things, I bought myself this Euphorbia Granti for my birthday. It was at my favorite nursery, and they had one that was like 8 feet tall, and I really wanted it, but it was like $75, so I settled for a much smaller one, and I'll take you guys over there and show you that. But so I decapitated it, because that's what they were doing at the nursery to get new growth, and I put the top part that I decapitated in soil, and it didn't root, and I thought it was going to die because it was just not doing well for like months. And then finally, like maybe in the past 3 weeks, it rooted. So it took like 2 months to root. It doesn't look good. It's pretty wilty, but it's rooted, which is all that matters. So hopefully it'll start growing soon. Another plant that is super popular right now, and they used to be really hard to find, is my Pilea peperomioid. And this guy, I bought for like $20, and he was this big because I bought him back when they were still really hard to find, and he struggled and he almost died. He was in the freezing cold for like 2 days before he got here, but safe to say he loves my greenhouse because these leaves are all brand new. He's really growing fast. Alright, now one big guy that I love is my Swiss cheese plant. He is seriously flourishing. He's huge. He has tons and tons of new growth. There's all of these awesome little unfurling leaves. And he really took off once I repotted him, and I also put him way higher up in my greenhouse, so he's right in the sun. The more sun they get, the more split their leaves get. And then another really cool plant is my Monstera Delicioso. These aren't, you can't really find these many places. I forgot to water him one day, that's why this leaf is dead, but it's okay, he's still living. These are really hard to find, and my greenhouse had them, and they said nobody bought them, so he was not expensive. He's really cool. I'm determining if I want to give him a moss pole to climb up, or if I want to keep him in a hanging basket. I'm not sure, but I just love the way that the leaves form. It's really wild. Look at here. Look at how the leaves come off of the main stem. Isn't that so cool? He's awesome. He's definitely one of my favorites. Another brand new plant I got that is not exciting looking whatsoever. It's my Fizzle. He's just a little baby. It's this tiny little bulb, and when I got him in the mail, these things all completely came off, so he's making a comeback. But I'll insert a picture here of what he's gonna look like when he gets bigger. He's super cool, and I also got him online from somebody in my plant group for like 10 bucks. And then I think, all right, not last but not least, so this will be my second last one, or third last, is this crazy cactus, which I'm gonna pull out of his soil right now because I guess I'll do that later. I think he really needs to be repotted. I have no idea what this is. No idea. And I posted in my plant group and nobody knows either. I picked him off of my sister's neighbor's house in Florida, and everyone thinks it's a dragon fruit, but it's not, because he was literally growing up a tree, like to the canopy. Like he was all the way on the top of the tree, wrapped around everything. And look, so this is the main one that I picked off. This one grew this summer, and look at this little baby one growing on top. So it's some type of climbing cactus, and I have no idea what it is, and it's just a mystery to me, but He's one of my favorites because he grows super cool. Someday I will figure out what he is. Okay, second last, I have my Peperomias here that I grafted from leaf. So what I did was I either cut the leaves. I have more babies growing. So this is a watermelon Peperomia, which this is the mother plant. And what I do is I take a leaf off, and you can cut it. Let me show you. I think I have a leaf on the ground here I can grab. Okay, so this leaf obviously fell on the ground, so he's kind of dead, but so what I did was I cut the leaf in half like this. Then you take both halves, and you stick them in soil where you cut them, and then you keep them pretty moist for a while. The other way you can do it is you can just take this whole leaf like this and stick this end in soil, and it will root and grow into a new plant. This is my first time doing it, and I had some pretty good luck. So all of these little tiny, like really light green ones are new growth. So there's some, and then I just found some more back here. How cute! I'm so excited. And the same concept goes for the Peperomia Halyburton or Halyburton. I don't know how to pronounce it. I just say it how I want to say it. So this leaf was rooted in water first. It's kind of dirty. And then I put them in this terracotta pot. And look at these baby leaves. I just love baby leaves because they're so fresh and waxy. Alright, now for my last plant. My baby toes. And these guys are so fun. They have been blooming for me all summer. As you can see, this one dead bloom. These two right here are going to be new blooms. And it's really cool. This one blooms like a yellowish pink, and this one blooms like a really white with a tiny little bit of pink in it. And they're really fun. Oh, there goes my little snail friend. I'm going to combine these into the same pot so that when I bring them inside for winter, they'll be together. But I found these at Lowe's, and they're pretty rare to find. This guy, some type of slug or something came through and bit off all the tops, but he's coming back to life. I don't know what the heck kind of bug would do that. I see a lot of new growth in here though, so we're good. So I guess that will be it for the video. I don't really have too many problem plants in here, just the ones that I showed you that either had some dying leaves or my Fizzle Sizzle that has like no leaves. But yeah, that'll be it for today's video. I hope that you guys liked it. If you want to check out my other plant videos, click on my channel. I have tons of other ones. I have a house plant tour. I'm going to do another updated one once I get all of these plants inside, which I have to do this week. All of these plants have to go inside my house, but it'll be fine. Yeah, so I hope you guys like this video. Have a great day.